Hello everyone, PaperSpock here, and I am coming at you with a little bit of Talos principle. We're going to get started. Last time I'm going to adjust the volume a little. Last time we explored around outside. Now we are in a brand new area. We are in the B archive, and I read this, but I did not read this. We're gonna log into the computer and see what happens. Osiris, Got It Lyrics, and Immortality. Osiris 1. Original translation by E.A. Wallace Budge. Annotations by Unknown. The dying man went into the scribe. Went unto. Oh gosh. The dying man went unto the scribe who resided in Hermaged, and said, Behold, I am weak of body. My days under the holy sun of Amun-Ra are coming to an end. Though I have spent my years in service of the two lands, I have not studied the question mark. Tell me, who are wise in the writings of the dead? What lies ahead in my journey? What will I face in the land of the Westerners? And the scribe spoke, saying, At the appointed time, ... It is likely the location was changed according to who the copy of the book was made for. The dying man is an avatar of the owner. In the older manuscripts, this is rendered as some controversy as to whether it... and then it cuts off 3, the dead. Compare with Enti Ementiu, the foremost of the Westerners, a title later given to Osiris. Sometimes mistaken for a mistranslation on Budge's part, this is almost certainly a mistranslation by the ancient scribe. The equivalent portion of the older manuscript is sadly not extant. Ah, okay, the notes. Okay, the dying man went on to the scribe who resided in Pyramid and said, Behold, I am weak of body, and my days under the holy sun of Amun-Ra are coming to an end. Though I have spent my years in service of the two lands, I have not studied the something. Tell me, who are the wise in the writings of the dead? What lies ahead on my journey? What will I face in the land of the Westerners? Scribe spoke, saying, At the appointed time. Then we don't have the rest. Okay. I like the translation notes. That was cool. Got it, lyrics. This is the one I've been looking forward to most. Cannot load video file. 24 million views. My new song with lyrics. Gotta laugh about this stuff. Laughter is the best medicine, lol. Okay, I'm trying to figure out if there's a tune I can sing. I can sing this too. I've got it. You've got it. He's got it. She's got it. Mommy's got it. Daddy's got it. Baby's got it. Granny's got it. I don't know. I knew this lad. Lottie's got it. Fatty's got it. Happy's got it. This feels like code. This feels like code. These are unusual names. This feels like code. Okay. I've got it. You've got it. He's got it. She's got it. Mommy's got it. Daddy's got it. Baby's got it. Granny's got it. Laddie's got it. Fatty's got it. Happy's got it. Sappy's got it. Everybody's got it. Come on. Jack's got it. Fred's got it. Bob's got it. Dog is fine. Woof, 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 woof. Dancing dog. Everybody's got it except dog. Woof. We've got it. We've got it. We've got it. Everybody's got it. Okay. That was surely not a consistent tune or even a good tune. There, I sung it. Okay, MDBGLFHS. What do they mean? Everyone's got it but dog. No, dog is fine. Dog is fine. So having it is bad? And dog is fine? Because if dog's fine, but it... Because this seems to imply dog doesn't got it, because dogs, they start to say got it, and then they switch to is fine. So what does this mean? Everybody's got it except dog. And they explicitly state dog doesn't have it. Okay, what do all these people have? Okay. I, you, he, she, mommy, daddy, baby, granny. Happy, sappy, fatty, laddie. I don't know what this means. This is one of the more enigmatic parts of the song. Unless, I mean, there is the interpretation of this is just like a goofy song, like, I'm Henry the Eighth, I am, Henry the Eighth, I am. Yeah, like that song. Like it's just like a novelty, silly song, but I feel like there's probably some meaning here. It's just not obvious yet. I wish I knew more about Egyptian mythology and dogs within Egyptian mythology, because this area does feel like it's Egypt-themed from what we've been told. So maybe that would end up being a place we could go with this, but... Okay. Next file. Immortality. That is a game by Sam Barlow. Okay. Disgruntlomeisters Vlogs to See, episode 204. I don't know about everybody else, but I'm afraid of dying. I don't see any reason to believe there's an afterlife. I'm an organism like any other. When my brain stops working, my consciousness will cease, and I will be gone. And you know what? I can't just embrace that. I can't say I'm okay with it, or I have accepted it with some nonsense like that. I don't want to have an ending. It terrifies me. If I had a genie right now, I'd wish for immortality. Who wouldn't? Oh, but you wouldn't really want to be immortal, the pseudo-philosophers say. Pretentious drivel. Everybody wants to live forever. Maybe everybody deserves to live forever, too. But we can't. So here we are. Live with it. Okay, Disgruntlemeister. Thank you. Yeah. That song. If I ever sing it again, it's gonna probably have a very different tune. I would love if like there was a canon tune that I could discover. Okay. Window through a door. I am concerned we're just going to get harder and harder versions of the puzzles we already know, because we don't have any new tools, really. So it would stand to reason they must combine the old tools in more complex ways, which means these puzzles are going to get harder, not easier. Most likely. Oh, you little twerp. What's going on here, though? This area seems so expansive. Okay. Window, door, yada yada. What about this? Okay, can I get up there from the other side? Oh, not just yet. Oh, heavens. Probably not at all, honestly. Okay. I don't see how I can... Oh, there is a... I don't think I can make use of that window just yet, but for now... And where's the other? Okay, there you are. My idea is if I set this down in just the right way, I can block the... Oh, this is going to be so hard. I mean, this is going to be maybe not possible. Oh, good. Good. Okay, let's look at the writing on the wall. I don't understand this one. I figured I'd try to make some progress here, but honestly, it's such a thankless task compared to what else is out there. Huh. Okay. Okay, I'm wondering if I can... I have an unusual idea. I want to try to connect this through and open up the loop somehow. I'm not explaining what I want very well here. I want to be clear, but hopefully it'll become clear if it works. We can pull the angle a little further. I think that probably is useful to pull the angle a little further. Now we're gonna go around. And this laser is going to be reconnected. Uh-oh. I can't quite open the loop the way I wanted. Yeah. Huh. Well, maybe we can... Okay. I was hoping I could, like, get it to stick open in some way that I could, like, shorten the circuit and disrupt the problem. But let's see what's over here. I think probably we're gonna have to figure out some variation of what I wanted to do. Yeah, this increases much slower. So it no longer works. Okay, so we do have to figure out what I was trying to figure out, which is some way to create the stable configuration that blocks this open. Let's set this here. Look around in this area a little more. Yeah, that didn't quite work. Oh, I just had an idea. It won't work for this level, but I can see a puzzle in a future level. When these things were stopped, I could put the hexahedra on top of them. So if I could put this on top of it as well, when it was stopped by a jammer, then that would just bypass the laser issue entirely. Ah, it needs something to connect to. So how do I stick my foot in the door to keep it open is kind of what I'm going for really here. How does that work? I'm not seeing an obvious solution just yet. But I do feel like I feel like my general strategy is pretty good. I mean, if I can somehow set this... I can move part of the existing structure so that it's in view of the window. But can I adjust this? And I don't have much leeway. Let's see about making it stable this way. Why does it do that? How does it disrupt both at once? Set it down like so. Now it's totally stable. However, it doesn't really help me. It's one of the ones where an additional one would make this... Oh, what if I went around... Let's go back. Find the level title. The level title is so far my biggest hint in these. Window through a door. What configuration allows that? Because I gotta have one that... As soon as I pull one, though, it's game over. Huh. Is there any way I can move you to go through? There is. There's so fucking is. Okay. Very good. Now I can connect this and that. And that's stable. It is stable, my friends. And voila! It was just a matter of finding the right angles. I did have the right idea in mind. Okay, good. Hooray! Okay, we are at the 17-minute mark, which means probably with time for one more puzzle. And, it's kind of a slow pace, but, you know, it is a pace. Let's see. Okay. Okay, I need to read the level name. I didn't see it. I'm not sure how often it's something about a star. Oh, golly. There's going to be a star in this level. What is in here? Oh, you know what we haven't had this stream? I mean, this video. We haven't had a, you know the thing. Okay, so I think this is going to possibly work, but possibly not. We're going to see what the... Oh, yeah, this is going to take a while to charge up, so yeah, it's... Let's... Oh, yeah, this is the final piece. It's not going to be that easy. What? Maybe it is going to be that... Okay. We'll keep pressing against this wall. Okay. Where is another level element? Where is a red laser? Okay, there's another option here. We get you. We get you. That's much less viable. feel like there should be another level element for this puzzle. Unless the puzzle really is just figure out where to place it so the disruption is minimal as possible. In which case... And we've got to grab you here and then... just kind of place you as... There we go. Star, though, is the most mysterious part about this level. Because where on earth do we get a red laser in from? There's this level, a very clear level element here of red laser door. And there's a star. But there's no way I see right here to get a red laser into the picture. The red laser is going to be one of those puzzles where I have to, like, connect them. Because these are displayed as unconnected puzzles, but they really are connected puzzles. Okay, ooh. Not quite as scary as I thought. Yes. Where are you bleep blooping from? Aha! Doctor, the situation. It's terminal! As in... Oh! Initiating Milton Library Assistant done. Initiating plain language interface done. Support session opened. Hello again. I've been checking your responses against library archives. And in order to assist you further, I need some additional information. Can you tell me what is to you the important difference between a pebble and a tree? Well, I saw the option already of the pebble being not alive, but let me close my eyes and try to think through what's the most important difference between a pebble and a tree. Well, it depends on how you're going to use it, of course. Like, if you're looking to start a fire, the most important difference is that a pebble's not flammable. If you're looking to have something you can carry with you, then a pebble being small is important. The most important difference. That's such a question. A pebble is older, a tree is heavier, a tree is alive. I wonder what do we mean by older? Like, when does a pebble become a pebble? Like, if we have a big rock and break it into pieces, like, do we call a fragment of that rock a pebble? And, we do. That's, I mean, sure. I feel like maybe a pebble needs to be worn into its own thing to really come into its pebbleness rather than just being a rock fragment. So, I wonder what the oldest tree is and what the youngest pebble is, and what the difference in their age is. Like, okay, so part of what I was trying to get at is, how do we measure the age of a pebble? Because if we measure it from when it gets broken off from the rock, from the larger rock that it's part of, then that could be fairly young. Like, I could maybe make a pebble if I took I mean, I wouldn't be making it from scratch. There's steps to it, but, like, the beginning of the pebble's existence as a pebble would be fairly recent. If let's say I took a giant rock, a boulder, broke it into pieces, broke those pieces into pieces, and then put them in a rock tumbler, and turned the fragments into a pebble. Then, that pebble, it's kind of a brand new pebble, but also, it's also kind of an ancient pebble. Because the rock itself is ancient. Anyway, a tree is heavier. Well, a tree's heaviness isn't usually relevant. I mean, it's sometimes relevant. But, like, if a tree is being a healthy tree and doing tree things, its weight isn't going to come into play too often in terms of how I'm going to interact with it. So, a pebble is older. A tree is alive is probably what I would go with. These are interesting answers, and you could think of even more. Good. Now, what is the relevant difference between a tree and a frog? Okay. A frog is conscious, a frog is green, a frog is delicious. Well, if I was asked this, I think if I was asked this naively, I would go about just kind of having taken a class, and having taken several classes in biology, my first thought would be just kind of the kingdoms of all the, not even king, they got rid of kingdoms. What is it now? Did they get rid of kingdoms? Let me check. I know there's like order. It used to be kings play chess on fine grained sand, and there's like domain above that. Okay. I know it's like something they taught me in high school, and then it got changed. Into way. Oh, it might not have even been changed. They may have just been teaching it wrong at the time. But orders of life. Oh, that's not orders of life. Taxonomic rank. Okay. The current. Okay, it is currently. Okay. The current, through Wikipedia, is domain, kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus, species. Okay. Okay. That's good. And so now we're gonna continue this. So a frog is conscious is probably what touches upon that difference the most among these. Frog is green. I mean, trees can have parts that are green. I don't know if there's a... What do we consider a tree? Is there something we consider a tree that we would describe entirely as green? Like a bamboo stalk, if we would consider that a tree. That's usually pretty green, right? A frog is delicious. I mean, I don't think that's most relevant difference here. I mean... Ooh. Go with a frog is conscious. Now we're getting somewhere. Let's try something harder. What makes the difference between a frog and you? What makes you a person? I have feelings. I'm rational. I'm self-aware. Or nothing important. Frogs are people too. So I have feelings. Frogs, I would say, absolutely have feelings. I'm self-aware. Well, what do we mean by self-aware? Probably, I would say, frogs have some self-awareness. I don't know much about frog psychology. I'm rational. That seems like, if we're not going to call frogs people, I think then I like I'm rational the best of the rest of these. But, I mean, I think I'm gonna go along this line for now and see where they lead us. That is the answer I had been contemplating as well. Checking user prof done, though I'm not convinced that view lines up with the definition of a person you provided earlier. Still, doubting your assumptions isn't something to fear. An intellectual survival instinct. I'm pleased to see you adapting to your ideas to your environment. So let us take stock. I think we can tentatively conclude two things. A person must be rational or self-aware, and a person must be conscious. What I suggest we do to help resolve your problem is ask whether you are in fact those things. Are you aware of yourself? Can you rationalize your existence? Oh, heavens. I love how we have this laser sound in the background. I should have disabled that before I did this. Okay, what I suggest we do to help resolve your problem is ask whether you are in fact those things. Are you aware of yourself? So cogito ergo sum. Think therefore I am. That seems to be. For instance, can you rationalize your existence? What do you mean by rationalize? Is what I would want to know exactly here. I mean, I feel like I think therefore I am is a rationale, so I guess. I tend to agree with you. Your responses so far have been a little eccentric. I am resigned to admit that you are right. The matter of whether or not you are conscious seems rather elusive. What is consciousness, in your opinion? Consciousness is what separates us from animals. Consciousness is the feelings and senses. Consciousness is far outside my area of expertise. Consciousness is what it is like to be me. Okay, let's go through these one by one. Consciousness is what separates us from animals. It doesn't really feel satisfying. Consciousness is what it is like to be me. I'm trying to figure out if they're getting at something more interesting here, or if this is just the kind of silly answer, because if consciousness is what it is like to be me, then people who are not me are not conscious. That's a little scary. I don't think I'm going with that one. Consciousness is the feelings and senses. Consciousness is far outside my area of expertise. Well, I'm not a philosopher. It feels like a cop-out in this game, though. And just say, that's above me. But, like, I do know philosophers have studied these things far more than I have, and probably will. For the purposes of this, consciousness is the feelings and senses. That hardly answers the questions. I didn't really seriously consider this. I just kind of said, I'm not so sure about the other options, I guess. That hardly answers the question. What is it in ordinary terms? Can I touch it? What is it made of? Consciousness is made of neurons. I would say consciousness is the connections between the neurons rather than the neurons themselves. That would be my gut reaction to that. Consciousness is another word for the soul. It presupposes the idea of a soul. And, I'm not sure that's satisfying in a scientific sort of way. Consciousness is beyond the laws of physics. No, I don't accept that. Consciousness is a complex functional system. It's probably close. I'd like to know more what they mean by functional system, but that's probably the closest to what I would say, as I understand it. Interesting. I really feel like we're making progress. We'll have you through that certification program in no time. In the meantime, I will mull over your proposal and notify you if I come to any conclusions. Terminating support session done. Resuming library archive session done. Searching for locally cached resources. Mutation, capacity, and evolution. The role of mutation in evolution is particularly fascinating. Mutation is essentially an error in the organism's central database. A variable gets changed, a piece of information is accidentally doubled or combined with another. Most of the time, the result is the equivalent of a bug, causing anything from minor problems to complete system shutdown, that is, death. But sometimes the new information is functional, giving the organism an advantage against the challenges it faces, in which case it has a much higher chance of being passed to the next generation. You consider how unlikely a beneficial mutation is and how long it takes for a mutation to propagate. This process can give you amazing insight into just how vast the genetic history of each living organism. So 4C494 6452 overwrite. This is hex adjacent, but a little different. It's in groupings of different numbers of letters, and sometimes not in pairs, and I think pairs is what you need, but this is 5. So I don't know what to do with that. That can be parsed, I think, but I think things like 04 don't really count. 65, I think, is valid. I don't know about 04. I'm not sure if I want to translate this, but I should, if I decide to go back and look deeper, that's what I would do. Simultaneously, it is intriguing to consider what a major role random errors have played in the evolution of life itself. The same process that has killed so many of us, often in horrific ways, is also responsible for our very existence. Capacity.eml. From Trevor Donovan to Alexander Drennan. EL capacity. Yeah, no worries. EL is not only ridiculously fast, it also has bazillion tons of space. Even while hosting a full copy of the archive, it'll be totally able to handle all your project's data needs, assuming its output is as you suggested. I mean, the worst case scenario would be like centuries. That should be enough, right? Trev. Oh no. And this is going to go beyond centuries. Evolution. Favorited by George Jameson. One of the most common misunderstandings about evolution, sometimes accidentally promoted by people who should know better, is that it's an active process. Sometimes the term evolve is applied to individual beings as if some invisible force had driven them to suddenly change. But the truth is that individuals don't evolve. The term evolution describes a long-term process that can be observed in an entire population across time due to this. Example, in response to an external threat or challenge. If an individual coincidentally has a trait that allows it to deal with that challenge more effectively than others, it is more likely to pass on that information to its descendants. That information gives them an advantage, so over time, they become the dominant model of the species. The individual experiences no significant genetic change during their lifetimes. Thank you for at least acknowledging epigenetics. But each of them is part of the evolution of the species. Okay. So I would say yes, evolution is a random process, not an active process. And you just happen to have a whole lot of things happening, and then some of them work out, and so that's evolution. And it can look active, but it's not active. But they talk about individuals evolving. I'm trying to get at what they're saying, because I think I agree with them, but I'm also... It depends on how literally people are taking things. No, if you're looking at, Pokemon, that's not how real-world evolution works. You can't have the same creature jump from one species to the next, and a person, as they go through their life, aren't really doing what is meant by evolution in a strict scientific sense. But, let's say an individual person tries out a bunch of different strategies to solve a problem. Each time they run into a problem, they try a strategy, and that doesn't work, so they try a different strategy, and they're kind of grasping around at random. Eventually, they're going to find a strategy that works, hopefully, or seems to be a bit better than the others. And then when they take that strategy, the question there is, how do you go forward from that? And what exactly do you take from it? And then I lost focus. I started doing word salad. Let me refocus. Word salad's probably not the right term, but I was just kind of saying words. That's kind of what I want to get at. What I'm getting at here is that there's some processes that I think in learning that could kind of resemble evolution in certain sorts of ways, but then it's not genetic information. It's information stored in our heads. I know there's meme theory as well. Like before the word meme was an internet thing, there was spreading of information and how that can mimic the way genetic information spreads. Well, non-genetic information can also spread in some similar ways, and you tell a story to a friend, and they tell a story to that friend, and then all of a sudden the story has these exaggerated elements because it spreads better when it has those. Maybe they tell the story to 100 different people, and they don't have the best memory, so they tell it different ways each time, and then there's like 5 times where they told it in a way that's a bit more interesting, that doesn't align with the truth, or because it's more interesting, it's a story that's more likely to be retold, and so on and so forth. This is very surface level cultural osmosis understanding of what meme theory is. I want to be super clear here. But, yeah. Yeah, that's kind of what I would end up saying, I think. That maybe that sort of thing is vaguely going on. I'm a little tired. I'm occasionally losing my train of thought here. But essentially, what I'm getting at is that I agree individuals don't evolve, but I think there are some processes an individual could do that could resemble evolution in a sort of a way. Not in the broad thing of, okay, then what they learn is going to be spread throughout the species. We are at 42 minutes. This is over the half hour that I like to try to keep these. We are going to hop into the next puzzle, and we are going to quit. But this was good. I'm gonna hop in here over the fence. Oh, I like that title. And we have a hexahedron, so I imagine we're going to put something up there. But we're going to stop the game. Saved less than a minute ago. Perfect. Thank you all for joining me. I look forward to next time and for continuing throughout this game.